Hi and welcome to my new demo. In this video I will show you what changed in Apache Spark user interface. And to illustrate these differences, I will execute two different Spark applications. One that will be the brand new one running on top of Spark 3, and another one that will be running on top of Spark 2.4.5. And I will start by showing you what changed in the streaming part. And to illustrate that, I will start one producer that will write some data to a test topic in Apache Kafka. After that, I will consume this data just with a sample console sync for both Spark versions, and I will run them on different UI port. As you can see, for the version 3 I have port which is 3000, and for Kafka for consumer, for the previous version, it will run on the port 2450. Before that, I will start the Docker broker. And the broker already started. I will start by creating the producer simply because I want to have one single process that will create the test topic. The test topic doesn't exist in the Kafka yet. It will be created automatically by the Kafka producer from Apache Spark structured streaming module. And as you can see in the data that will be produced, every time I will take 5 random integers and write them to the topic as a value column. And since the value column has to be a string, I had to map these integers to the string type. So once started, I will start the consumers, but let's wait first. And yes, it started the execution, and now I will start the two consumers. First, I will start the consumer 3, and now I will do the same for the consumer 2, 4, 5. And once started, I will go to the user interface and see what is displayed. So the consumer 3 is almost ready. Yes, it started to run, and the consumer 2 will be ready very soon, I think. Okay, it started. So I will just start the user interface for the version 3 and wait a little for the version 2.4. And as you can see, the first thing to notice is that is at this level. So you can see that we have 6 tabs, sorry. And in the version 3 we have 7. And the new one, which is quite impressive when you will see that, is this structured streaming tab, because it will give you a lot of details about the execution about the streaming execution. So as you can see, we retrieve everything like the input rates, process rates, and also a very interesting operation duration graph, where, as you can see, we can pretty easily see which operations take time in every micro batch execution. So as you can see, the first run was very long because it had to do some setup, and after that it was faster. And that's the first thing. So that's the new part that maybe you are familiar with it if you worked before with the streams based streaming, because it's quite similar. I didn't find this interface in Spark 2, and if you did, please share with me where I can take a look and see the details of the streaming execution. But apparently it was not implemented in the previous release. And another interesting thing is about the tooltips. So if you go to the executors part on the Spark 2, you will see that we have the tooltips that are a little bit misleading, because the role of the tooltip is to provide some extra context that cannot be displayed directly on the table. And these quite not meaningful-less tooltips are not present anymore in Spark 3, because tooltips reworking was one of the big tasks on this new release. So you can see that we have a quite interesting information for every meaningful part, and we don't have anymore this quite not interesting at all information, which can be also disturbing, by the way. So that was all for this streaming part. Of course, the tooltips, you will also see them in the batch processing. And let me now stop these consumers and show you the part related to the execution plans. Let me just clean up the volumes. And for the demonstration about the batch and more exactly about the execution plans, I will use this sample snippet, where, as you can see, I'm grouping some in-memory data set, and I'm mapping every group in this method, and every time I'm sleeping 25 seconds before returning the result. And I will do the same for the previous version, and you will see now what is the difference on the user interface. I've forgotten to start the batch consumers, sorry. I was a little bit lost with all these tabs on IntelliJ. And okay, it's running. So 2.4 should be done. Yes. Let's wait a little. Okay, and for the interesting part is located here, when you can see the details of every query. So you can see that we have some information, but if you compare this information with Spark 3, you will see that there is a gap, a real gap between what you can see. So here you can see few metrics about the exchange, so about the shuffle and the operation of mapping. But if you check that for Spark 3, you will see that there is much more information, and also that you can access a little bit deeper in this information display and see the max for every stage and task. And if you want to discover more about this topic or read it simply, I invite you to the link to the article, which is linked in the description of this video. It was Bartosz Konieczny from waitingforcode.com. Thanks for watching.